Welcome to the 90th Minute Reset podcast presented by Live Sports. I'm your host, Mario. I'm here with my co host, Leon.
It's been a long week.
No one cares, bro. No one cares. All right,
Oh, what are
so
we doing this week?
just like I do a little review of all of the top five leagues.
I don't think we got time for that, man. Nothing interesting happened this week. I'll be honest with you.
That's exactly why I said we're just going to. All right.
Legit, nothing interesting happened this week. I don't know,
Yeah, so that's the point. That's the point. Nothing interesting happened this week. So my first thought was, all right, you know what? We could just do a little, roundup of what's going on in football. This season starts out boring to you because it feels boring to you.
I wouldn't say it's boring. I'd say that the interesting matches are far and in between. Like if you're looking at like headlines, United being knocked out by West Ham, PSG barely scraping past Mets. Chelsea beats Villa on penalties. A good goal by Tammy helps Roma to a victory. I think the talking points is like how poor, like everybody's been talking about how extremely poor Barcelona has been. Like everybody knew they were bad, but this is just another level of bad. And
Hey, give me a second. Give me a
Coleman,
second. Give me a second. You're expecting teenagers who are having their first season of actual football to be spectacular or something.
like I said, persons know they're bad, right? But it's just the level of bad that it is.
And again, we have not. We've yet to start. We've yet to have Usman Dembele or Aguero, in the team, and Coutinho consistently, and him just get back injured out as well. Usman Dembele injured as well. Aguero just really we call it get ready
Me, I
stuff.
think.
And I'm not sure if he's out as well, but I know
No,
that
he has an
Usman and
injury. He has an
Coutinho.
injury. He has an injury.
All
Your
right,
injury
so
list is Ansu Fati, Brathwaite, Dembele, Alba, Aguero, Pedri. That's your
yes,
injury list.
yes. So what exactly are you expecting from Barca?
Persons are expected that you can at least beat Cadiz.
You see, and that's the thing. Most people think that La Liga is a shit league, so a
Yeah,
team
but
like
again,
Cadiz
you
should.
still have enough. You're supposed to have enough to can beat Cadiz.
Again, has anybody
You
been watching
brought
La Liga
on
lately?
Coutinho, Yuri
Ricky
Puig,
Puig, yeah.
Sergio Roberto, right? Nico Gonzalez. Those are your subs. You're telling me that this isn't
Hold
enough
on,
to beat Cadiz?
Hold on, hold on. Yes, Nico Gonzalez, again, a teenager who has never been in this situation before. And he's not one of our brightest teenagers. Our brightest teenagers are Ansu and Steph.
So you're telling me that Memphis Depay, Luke De Jong, Philippe Coutinho, Sergio Roberto, Frankie De Jong,
Sergio
that's
Roberto,
not enough.
hold on. Sergio Roberto and Coutinho are just coming back from injury. Well, Coutinho, I'm 100% sure, just coming back from injury. So again, we've never been able to field our actual load. And even defensively,
The defense
we've
was
been out
good.
Langley,
You have PK, you have Ronald,
Araujo,
Des, Oscar, and Oscar
and that's a
Wingeza.
makeshift backline. That's not our actual backline.
And you have Langley on bench, Eric Garcia on bench, Umtiti on bench.
Yes, because a lot of those guys are just getting back fit, like just coming off of injuries. And we'll lose Usman before we could even get to play Usman Dembele. Coutinho has been in and out of the injuries. We've never, if Barca starting 11 isn't Umtiti, PK, Alba, Sergio Roberto, Busquets, and Frankie at the base of the midfield, or whether, even if it's the midfield, Frankie, Coutinho, and Busquets, and our front three is supposed to be Depay, Aguero, and Usman. If that's not the Barca you're seeing on the field, and then people like Pedri, Puig, Ansu Fati, Uzdemir, Luke De Jong should be coming off the bench. And then
All I can say is, your own manager came out and said that Messi made players look better than they actually were. That this is the actual reality of the club. He sounds like a man that wants to leave. He doesn't sound like a man that wants to stay.
But here's the thing. Again, this was one of the things that I spoke to you about earlier.
Hey, you can't blame him. I'm just saying, you know.
No, I can. Of course, I can blame him. Like
he sounds like a man that wants out.
No,
like he came. The press conference before this. Just let me finish. I'm just saying. Just let me finish. Right? He came and he read a statement, right, saying that he needs the backing of the fans and the media because this is the new reality of the club. That we have a lot of young teenagers coming through. We have a very long injury list. So at this moment, we do not need your criticism because we are in the process of rebuilding, and rebuilding is a very painful process. And we are trying to rebuild with youngsters and some other stuff. But the tone,
I'm gonna show you just with 5
minutes. Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you just with 5 minutes. One, Barca doesn't see Koeman as a long term. Never saw Koeman as a long term. So I will give him a 2-year contract. He's supposed to steady the ship until we find our actual coach that we want. 2, Barca's put off the rebuild for years and it needed to happen. 3, Koeman has not accomplished enough as a manager to make those things, especially being that you do still have world-class players in the squad and they're using your style of play.
World-class players?
Hold on.
Man, the only world-class player in that squad that actually performs and performs consistently is De Jong.
No, but Leon, that's what I'm saying. Well, what I'm saying to you is this. All of these, we have a lot of world-class players in our squad. Yes, they're not playing in form at the moment. But I'm saying, as the manager, you're supposed to get that out of your team based on the formations and stuff that you pick, based on the training that you give to the squad. You saw what Aguero said literally the day a couple of days ago?
No, I didn't. I don't have time to read of the Aguero's press conferences. Releases. Because a player who can't play should keep his mouth shut.
No, but here's the thing. Aguero came out and said that the entire training process of Barca is complete shit. Like
no,
I'm talking what
Koeman. I saw that.
Yeah, but that's under Koeman's watch. And what did Aguero say in that same article? The way Pep prepares his team.
Yeah, but you see now, this is where I draw the line. Aguero should keep his mouth shut because a player who's not available to play and is on the injury table should keep his mouth shut and not say anything.
Yeah, but also.
He has yet to put on a shirt and go out on the field.
Yeah, but he's Aguero. Wouldn't know that
it matter. This doesn't matter. This is a player that he was benched by Pep for half of last season. And Pep said that he doesn't even need
my question, how? Did he not need a striker in the final? What was the one thing Pep team was lacking in the final?
A CDM actually, not a striker, because they created chances.
Yeah, but they didn't score any goals, right?
Yeah, but that's not the reason why they lost.
No. I'm not talking about that. Well, guess what? One of the reasons you lose is because you don't score goals. So, again, you would...
If he had played a defensive midfielder, they probably wouldn't have conceded the goal.
Yeah, and that's defensive. But guess what? The match would have gone straight to penalties. Because, again, unless you're scoring a goddamn goal, which you didn't, even though you created the chances to, again, Pep would have needed a striker. Because what's the biggest question coming into this season for Pep? Does Pep really need a striker to win the Champions?
Yeah, and boy, he won last season without a striker. So
won what without a striker?
He didn't win last season without.
No, not the league.
The
Champions. Yes, that's the. But you know, this is about the league, brother. Like the Champions League, can Pep win without a striker? He proved last season they couldn't. Can get them to the final. Sure, them can create chances, but they couldn't finish them. So again, and we can't pretend like Aguero isn't, other than Lewandowski, when 100% fit, other than Lewandowski, when we're talking about just pure goal scorers.
I'll take Kane. I'd say Kane.
I put, yeah, well, in what way?
Kane.
I would just say he's younger.
Kane is a better goal scorer than Aguero.
I disagree with that. I just say he's younger. That's why
I
that's
put
why I would
Kane
put
over Aguero in terms of goal, in terms of pure finishing. I put Kane in front of
I would
Aguero.
never do that. I would never do that. I would never do that. But the reason why I put Kane, the reason why I was going to agree with your point was because Kane is the younger player and the informed player at the moment.
And Kane is always fit.
But exactly. So that's why I was going to agree with your point. But I don't agree that he's a better finisher. I can't agree with that point. That's why I was still going to agree with the point because I don't completely disagree with it. I would have Kane over Aguero now, but not because he's a better finisher. No, you're always available, and availability in sports is the most important.
He's the most important. That's why Aguero should really
Exactly.
keep his mouth shut because you
but
are
that's,
unavailable to.
I get
You
that.
just signed for a team and you're on the injury table.
Yeah, but again, that's a risky sign with any players, and we knew that he was injury prone coming into
Exactly. I don't know why Barca even decided to go that way.
because what other option did we have? And also when Aguero is fit, we know what he can provide.
But it's always the if, that has always been Aguero's problem. The if.
Yeah, and like I
but
said,
that's not really stray from the main point,
Yeah, so the main point that I'm trying to
even
make
under Valverde, Barca's training has been a mess. So it's not this is not coming as news to us. Let's be honest.
No. What I'm saying is that's Valverde's ship. Valverde's ship sank. Kike Setien came in, changed things, but needed more time. The stupid board that was in there before fired him. Coleman is not a long-term manager, so you don't really need, as a matter of fact, we literally just needed you to get us across for this season. Because we gave him a 2-year contract. Last season and this season. He was not there as a long-term, okay, this is who Barca is going to. This is who Barca wants to win the Champions League. No. Barca knew the situation that they were in and they needed somebody to establish it. That's why they brought in Kike Setien. But from that 8-2 from Bayern, Barca's board overreacted. As they usually
because
do.
I don't know why they believe that 8-2 was actually very realistic. Both teams are.
Yeah, but we get that. But the point I want to make is this. You can't come in and pretend like when it comes on to squad preparation, that's a coach's job. The things that were happening behind the scenes is out of all of the players' control, and it was out of all of the fans' control. It was to some extent the fans did have power because multiple people came in and told you that this was going to happen. A lot of people have been trying to vote out that vote for years, and the socials allowed what happened to happen. So Barca fans do have a part. But the main thing is this: if you come in and you don't change the culture into Barcelona, what kind of coach are you? You see, the first week Koeman signed, Joaquin said something, and I always thought that Joaquin was biased in the way he speaks about Koeman because of Koeman's terrible Valencia spell back in the day, which is kind of been swept under the rug. But he did well at Southampton, does well with the national team so that kind of
national team never agreed to complain. I think it's very hard, because we don't know exactly what is the problem or what.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you're the coach,
alluding to.
No,
I
know exactly.
I don't think he was really talking about the coach itself.
No, that's it. Leon, read the interview. He literally
I did, and I just remember that he said that when he turned up to the training ground.
Yes, and read past
the lights were off.
No, read past that. Read past that to where he talks about Pep's squad preparation. Go down to that part. He speaks about how Pep and he even complimented Man City. That's why Man City gets where they are. And he actually speaks about the squad preparation, which is why I said, if as a coach you're not the one that can complain about the coach, because that's why we bring you in as a coach, for you to bring in your philosophy, your culture. You're a former Barca player, former Dutch national team coach. So you should understand Barca's playing style. You're from that tree of Johan Cruyff people. You're from that tree. There's you, Laurent Blanc, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, the Mark Overmars of this world, Rivaldos. But just to stick to coaches, Laurent Blanc, Mourinho, Guardiola, Koeman, De Boer. you're in that category of people. No, the boy hasn't lived up to what he was expected to be, and you're the other person. You can't complain about the Barca culture because you're supposed to set that. So Joaquin said that he would never let Coleman be his hit manager at a football club. No, of course, there is some bias to Joaquin because he had a bad spell at Coleman had a bad spell at Valencia, and I think he isolated Joaquin from the squad, or he just let things get out of hand. This
He's
is when
talking like how Casillas talks and he says Jose is his worst manager, etc., 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 and all that crap.
Exactly. That's why I said there's a bias to it. Granted, and it was
so
when
as I said, so I brought you the Aguero quote, and he's not talking about Coleman, he's talking about the training ground itself.
Yeah, but read more into the interview. He compliments Man City's squad preparation and their training work. And again, that's a culture thing.
Yeah, but at Barca, why would you show up to an hour and a half before training begins?
No. That's not the point I'm making. The point is he's complimenting on the culture that Coleman still allows.
Yes, so the lights are off at the gym because nobody's there.
No,
Everybody
you're
shows up
just
when it's
you're
time
that's
for
just
training.
You're just reading the first part of it. Like read down to where.
Yes, I have the full
it's
quote
about
right here.
It's about
at
the
City,
culture at
this
Barca.
is the full quote. This is the full quote. At City, we used to arrive at least an hour and a half before training. Here, like an hour and a half before. I figured I'm going to be there an hour before to see if I can do something in the gym or whatever. But no, even the lights are off. So he shows up an hour before training is scheduled to begin. Does he expect that the place should be open?
Leon, you read the entire interview?
Yes, this is the entire interview.
Yes, and he's speaking about the culture at Barca. Pep brought that culture to Man City. It's not just a personal choice. He's speaking about the culture at Barca. And if you're the coach, you can't be the one to complain about culture because that's what you're supposed to do to the team. Pep brought that culture to Man City.
So what if Coleman has no problem with the players turning up on time for training? As long as they're on time for training.
You're isolating it to one specific.
No, but what you are trying to allude is that Coleman is not preparing the squad properly by saying that because persons are not turning up before training should begin and the equipment and the lights are off. You're trying to say that he's not preparing the squad properly.
No, yes, but also what I'm saying is that the culture at Barca, the overall culture at Barca isn't what it's like at Man City because of the manager that is there. So it's not that persons have to simply show up at the gym an hour early and do work. It's not that, but it's the overall work ethic at Barca. Like the people who are out there, read the full interview and you'll see what I'm like. It's actually more about the culture that is there at Barca. And this is not the first person to come to complain about this. Now, of course, when Frankie did it, it was under Valverde.
Yeah, no, Frankie didn't complain about showing up to training. I want to show up to training an hour before and the lights are off. No, he specifically commented on the lack of intensity and the lack of coaching, the lack of physical preparedness. And if it's one thing we know about Ronald Koeman is that none of his teams are very physically fit. His teams work very hard on the pitch. They do the hard yards. His training programs are very intense. We know that. We've seen that from Koeman. So yes, even
we've seen. Hold on, Leon. He's still isolating it to that. You're just trying to make it seem like okay, it's just about the players not reaching 1 hour. It's not just about that. It's but the again, overall work.
If everybody turns up on time, right, and the training ground is the lights are on and the equipment already for when you should be there.
Yeah.
Not before, when, because you should remember.
That's not what they're complimenting.
Mario, listen. No, but that is what Aguero is talking about. How can you say the work ethic is bad at the club when he's not coming. You are
Because you can
trying to
no because
you are
because
trying
you
to
can see
pick
it in
what
the
is
team.
not there.
No, but
You're
no,
trying to
but
pick
you
what is
can
not
see it
there.
in the team. No, but Leon, you can see it in how the team plays.
This looks like a team that doesn't want to play football. That's what it looks like.
No,
This doesn't look like a Coleman's team.
Leon, a Coleman picked this specific team, you know. This is Coleman.
Yes,
These
but
are
that
Coleman.
does not mean that these players are up to the task.
So
he
why?
picks what he has.
No.
Who else is he going to pick?
Who specifically went for Depay? It was
Depay is performing.
No.
Is Depay not scoring goals?
Yeah,
is
but
Depay
also,
not creating goals?
No, hold on. He's the only player playing well at the moment. Also, who's the person who brought up Uzdemir from the squad and asked for Trinko? Coleman did that, right?
Okay, yes, he did. Yeah. Because what else is he going to do? You're
he could have kept
options.
Trinko. No, he did have options, which is why I said who sent Trinko and brought up Uzdemir.
Yes, because chances are
Trinko
is probably going to be behind the Fati, Dembele, and Depay. Because Depay is probably going to play on the wing when Aguero is fully fit.
Yes, and
so
again,
the limits of Trinko situation, right? Trinko needs active game time. He needs to be playing.
And that's not why most players are fit. Coleman didn't want him in the squad. That's why he's in there.
Well, guess what? Y'all can raise some good money from Trinko. Y'all need the money.
No, but that's not the point, Leon. Focus on the point. The point is, this is a very specific Coleman-built squad. At some point, we're going to have to look at you as the manager. Now, like I said, it doesn't really matter that whether Coleman gets it right or not, because he was never the long-term choice of Barca. He was just to steady the ship. Much like Quique Setien should have. And I don't think they should have fired Setien when they should have. I just think it was an overreaction to the A2. So again, all of this that is happening at Barca, to me, a lot of people are overreacting to it because, like I said, Barca has realistically been playing like this. Barca look no different from they did last.
And like I said, your manager came out and
you know what's the difference? You know what's the difference? Like you said,
Lionel Messi to bail you out.
Exactly.
And but that's what Coleman said in the last match. He said Messi made some of these players think they were better than they actually are. Yeah, and I think a lot of players in this squad felt that they were better than what they actually are. And this is not a wake-up call to them.
Yeah, but like who? Like who?
Hey man,
legit like who? No, but legit like who? Ousmane Dembele has proved. Ousmane Dembele has proven himself for Germany and France. We know what he is. We know what Memphis Depay is. Whether it is Eindhoven spell, his Manu spell, or his
his Manu spell is a disaster. So don't mention that.
No. But he still showed signs of what he potentially is. He still had moments where he said, "Okay, that's what his potential could be." And then we saw him play world class in a bad Leon squad that couldn't compete with PSG because he's literally the only world class player in the squad. They had some good talented youngsters.
That's a far stretch. I wouldn't even consider Depay world class either. I consider him right below that bracket of world class players.
I would put him up to world class, but I don't disagree with your point. That's why I say like not every world class player not every player say that is world class means that they're the top 5 Ballon d'Or. Like top 10 Ballon d'Or prospect. It's how you perform in the league. He performed world class in League One, but he was the only player on his squad that was playing at that level. No, if Benzema goes to that squad, is he as world class as Benzema? No, but I don't. Like I said, to me, yes, there is world class, and there's like, all right, you're competing for the Ballon d'Or, like Ribery, Robben, like Messi, CR7. Like, I'm not talking those when I say world class. He performed world class in League One because he performed at a high level at Eindhoven, but he wasn't world class. So I'm not just specifically like he's developed since that Man U. No, is he the best left winger of all of the left wingers in the world right now? No.
As in his position, yeah, I think you're probably top 15, top 10, the top 15.
About top 10, exactly, top 10, top.
Yeah, which
Which is why I
technically
said like
makes
he's not
him
Ballon
world
d'Or.
class. Yeah.
That was why I said I don't consider him like, yo, this is the Ballon d'Or like competitor for Mbappe. I'm not talking about
Because there's
like,
not many, like if you're gonna play him as a striker, there's not many strikers that are out there right now that you would say is better than him or has put up his numbers consistently over a long period of time.
exactly, which is why I said that he performed world class at Lyon. It's just that like
Yes,
I'm not talking.
but he had a good team around him. I wouldn't say.
No.
I
That's
think he
not.
had some very good talents around him at Lyon. I
Yeah,
think
but
probably
they
Lyon
were
was
just young.
they were
They were just
just
young talent.
inconsistent, and
No, but they were
their
young talents
talents,
as well.
the talented players would always leave.
That's
So
why
they
I said
never gel.
it's always young talent. It's always new young talents every year with their part. So, like I said, he's never had somebody here consistently who is playing at his level on a consistent basis, as I said. So again, this Barca junction, and then Barca were forced to sell off a lot of the young talents that were supposed to be there. All right, you want me to give you an example? Gavi shouldn't necessarily be in the squad. You know why Gavi is in the squad? We had to let go of Monchu. We had to let go of Moriba. Gonzalez, he shouldn't be in the squad. Even Uzdemir, in all fairness, and Uzdemir is the best out of some of the young players. We're forced to sell Oriol Busquets. So that midfield trio of Puig, Pedri, and Busquets was supposed to be our backup midfield. And then if you wanted to play physical midfielders, we would have kept Moriba and Monchu. So Barca had to clear the squad. Like Barca cleared the squad in the wrong way. It should have been sell the old guys first and try as much as possible to keep Moriba, Monchu, Oriol Busquets. You already keep Puig and Pedri, which is good. And guys like Uzdemir to me should actually be on loan. Uzdemir is the one who should be on loan. They have Trinko and Sufati. He's yet to use Raymond, even though he's had a great preseason. But this is why I said it's a four-man squad. He's the specific one who asked for Luke De Jong. And I don't want to hear nothing about Martin Braithwaite because one, he was a panic buy, and two, he shouldn't be in the squad to this moment. He's one of the older guys who should have been sold in order to keep Messi's contract alive. Which is why I said that Barca's transition, a lot of European teams helped with the demise because they didn't come for the older players. Even players who are going are still in their prime, like a Umtiti, a Sergio Roberto. Alba is kind of leaving his prime, so you can understand that. But a lot of the players who could have been sold, even the Coutinhos, or even if you want to put Ousmane Dembele, are in that category as well. A lot of the players who could have been sold earlier are now going to probably leave in January or next summer, which is inconvenient for Barca because we already lose two of our best young talents, or three, if you count Busquets. Luckily, we got Eric Garcia, we have Mingueza, and we have Araujo. So we have the three centre backs that we're supposed to have. I don't see Akiyeme as yet at left back because Serginho Dest has been functioning as both. As a backup right back or backup left back. Or sometimes him start over Sergio Roberto. But this Barca squad isn't even organized. So again, Barca has been forced out of their best youngsters in terms of midfielders. They kept Puig and Pedri, that's good. I will still have Frankie de Jong. But at the same time, Busquets should not be a starter in the squad anymore. Neither is Piqué. But you couldn't go after the centre backs that you wanted because Longley and Umtiti and Piqué are still there when you wanted them sold. So people should not have any expectations of this Barca squad because it isn't even organized. Remember that we could have registered players at the beginning of the season.
That's very true.
And again, Coleman was given a 2-year deal because again, it's a short-term plan for Barca. And like I said, until the culture at Barca changes, I don't see us getting better.
All right, so let's take a look at let's see here. All right. We can preview the weekend. I think we have some good matches coming up this weekend. Chelsea, Man City. I think, yeah, that's like Chelsea, Man City. Like, let's look forward. Like Chelsea, Man City. I think that's the game of the weekend. Can Tuchel do what no other manager has ever done? Beat Pep Guardiola 4 times in a row? 4 in a row? Do you think he can do it?
Yeah, because like Pep doesn't have an out-and-out striker that's a threat. And Jesus in Pep's system plays better on the wing apparently. So. Which is strange because earlier on in Pep's spell, Jesus was like the perfect number 9 for him.
He was.
If he ends up leaving City, I think Napoli should sign. If he fits there well.
I don't get.
Go on.
I'm looking at this game, and you have 2 teams coming into. This is their first meeting since since the Champions League final. Yes, Mount is out injured. Pulisic is out injured. We have Lukaku. Sorry, not coming off of good form. We have Werner coming off good form, right? Werner just scored a beautiful, good header, and he's been scoring for Germany, right? He's 3-3 in the national team over the international break. Now I assume that we're going to see 3-5-2. Mendingo, Christensen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger. I would like to see Chilwell back, but I think he might go with Alonso. Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, Aspilicueta, Lukaku, Werner. Now, we saw what Werner did to City's back 4 in the Champions League final. And Werner puzzles everybody. He doesn't puzzle me because I know I've been following Werner long enough to understand that Werner has never been super clinical, and he's normally the striker that needs maybe 2 or 3 chances to score.
He's much like Morata, he's a volume.
But he normally scores, as he says, he doesn't normally miss sitters. Quite frankly, he could always count on Werner to give you a big goal if you needed one. But Pep is coming, like you said, Jesus is going to play on the wing with Grealish, and he's going to play Ferran Torres. There's a higher chance he plays Ferran Torres as the false nine, which is what he's been doing. We probably see Foden, Fernandinho, and De Bruyne, and the backline picks itself because everybody else is out injured. So Walker, Diaz, Ake, Cancelo. Now, Ruben Diaz is supposed to have nightmare of Havertz because Havertz took him to the cleaners in the Champions League finals, and in Euros, he did the same thing again. But I feel like Pep is posed with a serious question of how does he break down this Chelsea team? How Pep likes to play is he likes to occupy the half spaces. But when you use a back 3, and Tuchel's 3-4-3 or 3-5-3 is very unique in a sense that he has such great width, but he also manages to compress the center of the midfield so good.
Because the backline plays close to the
midfield.
The backline plays close to the midfield. There's space in behind. The problem is Pep doesn't have a striker who can actually run in behind to push back the center backs back. Mm-hmm. So Pep can pass the ball in front of the defense, but guess what Pep is missing? Mm-hmm. Werner. somebody who can stretch a defense, somebody who can give that space, allow that space to be open. The reason why Ruben Diaz has nightmares of Kai Havertz is because he had to go out and face him. It's not that Kai Havertz had to necessarily dribble down to him, or even if Kai Havertz is dribbling
Havertz doesn't dribble down onto him. He literally is forced to step up and to face him one
because there's space in front, which is also why Zinchenko got caught in 2 minds whether he's supposed to stay or go, and that split second decision, because again there was so much space because Werner can drift wide while still running in behind.
And his pace, you see, a lot of persons don't understand that Werner could probably miss every single shot in front of goal, but no defender is going to leave a player to just run free, regardless if this player is going to miss everything.
Especially if you know that the player is fast.
And if it's one thing we know, if you let an attacker go 1v1 up against your goalkeeper, who is bound to score eventually. And Werner's pace, as we saw against Villa in the week, when they brought on Lukaku and Werner, again, even in our match on the weekend, right, against Spurs, Werner's pace pulls defenders apart.
Exactly, and that's what Pep is missing in his squad. Guess who usually could do that? Aguero. And then Aguero was also a ball player, meaning that
he could jump into midfield and lay off
and link up
a through pass right into his winger.
Exactly, and he could link up play very well. And he
doesn't have a tall number 9 like a Lukaku who could take
hold
the
up play and all
exactly.
That. And Pep has never been one to love his number.
But he's always had players who were either like you said, ball players who are fast, creative dribblers who can pass and shoot. David Villa's, your Messi's, or we always had players like Eto'o or Henry who could drift into that striker position and relieve the pressure or to make runs. Because I think that's the most, like Jesus, when he plays through the middle, I feel like he's more suffocated somewhat because he doesn't get the chances. Or maybe predictable is a better word.
Predictable. Because again, Jesus thrives off of link-up play, and Foden is like this as well. And I worry about the careers because of this. Mm-hmm. Their playing styles are a lot more simpler than it looks, but they thrive off of quick link-up play. If the ball slows down for too long, Jesus will not be, which is why players like Lukaku,
which is why Pep wanted Kane, because even if the game slows down,
Kane can still act as
that's play the ball into your striker. I think the first thing midfielders hear is that play the ball into the feet of your striker. A good striker doesn't need a big 5-6 yards. He just needs to collect the ball and turn. And
again, even if
best strikers in the world collect the ball and turn.
No, even if you're not going at the goal, one of the things that Kane does well is also link up, which is what I said. When you have players like Suarez, when you have players like Aguero, who despite being number 9s, they almost have the skills of inside forwards. There's good link up play. So Kane can stretch the defense by trying to run in behind, but when him drop off into midfield, he can actually hold up the ball and make the right sequence. Jesus needs quick passing constantly, which is why he works so well for Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brazil plays with 2 defensive midfielders now and basically says, hey, we're just going to win the ball back and our attacking 4 players make the magic on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And even for Brazil, he's been dropped because I see them playing a lot of Richarlison through the middle with some other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I thought Jesus would be the perfect forward for Pep, but because he's very Aguero-like when Aguero was younger. But what happens when he can't depend on your pace? And that's one of the things I worry about. Work. Can you shift from depending on your pace to just making intelligent runs? what happens when your pace starts to fade? What type of player are you?
Basically, the
Because
Torres question.
yeah, and then Torres still evolved his game because as we saw at Atletico Madrid, he was a target man. Allowed Griezmann to play off of him. And that's the next weird thing about what Coleman said. Like, it's not that these players were world class or Messi made them look better. The squad was literally not built properly. You have Coutinho, Messi, and Griezmann who all want to share the same space. From midfield, Coutinho wants to drive into that number 10 space. From as a false nine or as a second striker or as an inside forward, Griezmann wants to drift into that space. Now that Messi is a lot older, he literally stands in the number 10 role. Even as a right winger, even if you play him as a right winger, he literally stands in the number 10. Which is why right now, him and the PSG players aren't having that chemistry. Because Messi has to play as a 10. Neymar, who has been playing as a 10 for the past 2 years, back out wide. Di Maria, all right, in the on the right. Di Maria is Di Maria. And Mbappe is finally playing through the middle. But Mbappe also is a player who, despite the fact that
drift. He likes to run the channels.
He needs that space to run the channels, but guess who's all wide with him now? Neymar. And again, Neymar has been playing as a 10 for both Brazil and PSG for the past 2 years.
Which gave Mbappe's freedom.
Exactly. No, Messi and Neymar know how to play with each other already. Di Maria knows how to play with Messi already. But again, can Neymar...
They have to figure out how to play with each other.
All over again. Because again,
and now as a unit.
Because remember, Neymar adjusting... Neymar adjusting game to play as a 10.
That's true.
So he isn't trying to do all of the stuff he does on white. He still does the tricks, but he isn't playing exactly how he played at Barca.
Yeah, no, he has to adjust back to playing as an inside forward. And Mbappe, no, Mbappe has to do what Henry did or what Henry become later on into his career, where he has to now become a number 9.
Yeah, and become a focal point.
And it's probably 3 years too early. That's my estimate for him.
Yeah,
that is probably early for that.
I would agree with that. But
no, we will get to see, can you become that focal point? Because everybody knows where you're going to end up. But we thought that, okay, over the years, you will do what CR7 did, where the more experience you got, you naturally drift into the middle. But no, because you have Neymar on the left, you have Messi in behind you, you have Di Maria on the right, you now have to become what Cavani and what Zlatan was for PSG.
Benzema for Madrid.
Exactly, that focal point. Be that striker, which is why I think he was pushing for that Madrid move, because he would have been played alongside Benzema, and he will have learned from one of the best.
Or in a front three with Asensio, Benzema, and so.
Exactly, and you'll be playing with a striker that, because right now there's no, as much as Mbappe is as talented as he is, there are certain things you only learn by experience, or unless you have somebody with you to teach you. And Mason Greenwood is learning from Cavani and CR7 on how to be a striker. That's some of the best education you can get as a young forward. So at PSG, Mbappe doesn't have that, what we say now, that striker, that, how would you term it?
And Icardi get fat and happy, so
Icardi is just a sad thing. That's less said about Icardi, the better.
Hey, he's still a world-class player to get him out of that PSG squad.
I'm not saying no, but I think that this, again, it's kind of hard for him to.
And this is what I mean by squad build. In all fairness, Icardi should be the number 9, and Mbappe should play on one of the wings. Because Icardi would be the
what they did
no,
when he was coming through, when at Monaco, when he played on the right wing.
yeah, them already tried a 4-4-2 cup already.
Okay, why not play Mbappe and Messi up top?
Because again, who would be the focal point?
Make Mbappe. No, what you're doing, I think you make Mbappe play off of. You make Messi as they are. Remember how Berbatov and Rooney used to play?
Yeah, but Leon, that's no different from if you play the 4-2-3-1 because Messi is going through the exact same drop off.
Yes, you have a point there.
That's why it was good to have him on Suarez, which is why when you sell Suarez and bring in Griezmann, which goes back to squad building. Yes, Messi carried the team, but you can't pretend like there aren't world-class players around him. It was just a poorly built squad. It was a squad of, okay, let me throw some money at this player, and if it works, it works. They panicked by Arturo Vidal because they stupidly gave up Paulinho, who was already working well with Busquets and Messi. Because if you sell Paulinho after a very good season like that, where he's combining well with Messi, Suarez, and Busquets, and him have a good partnership, you need to make a splash signing. And Paulinho is one of the first box-to-box midfielders in a long time who has had success at Barca. So they tried to jump for Arturo Vidal. That didn't work out so well. Because Rakitic could not play as an attacking midfielder anymore, even though that's where he plays for Sevilla. But at a world-class level, Rakitic became a deep-line playmaker, and he couldn't drive into the box anymore as an attacking playmaker and dribble past players anymore. So that midfield of Arturo Vidal, Busquets, and Rakitic didn't work, which goes back to squad building, which is why I said Koeman should also tread like, because again, Barca don't want you at the club either. Like, we don't have to renew this contract. We just wanted somebody to steady the ship, which is why I was telling you at the beginning of the season. You remember when I was telling you that I only wanted Messi at Barca for 1 more year?
Yeah. I remember you were saying that was the original plan.
That should have been the plan. If everything went right, we would have a bench full of youngsters, and I would have accepted that. With the Trinco, Raymanaj, Ansu Fati, Pedri, Puig, Busquets, well, Oriol Busquets, not big Busquets, not Sergio. I would have still have Moriba and Monchu, would have Sergio in your desk, and would still have Aki in it, academy left back. So we would have a bunch of youngsters on the bench. But at least in your starting 11, if you had sold all the right players, you could have built the starting 11 better. We knew that our bench would be dependent on youngsters. We know that coming into the season. But what we wanted to do was sell a lot of the players that are there now and buy very specific players. In all fairness, the front three for this season should have been Messi, Aguero, and Depay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it should have been Coutinho, Saul, and Frankie in midfield if things went the way we wanted it. And we still would have Ousmane Dembele. Let's say that we don't get Saul, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that we don't get Saul. We still have Ousmane Dembele in the team. So we could have dropped Messi as a number 10, still play Sergio Busquets and Frankie de Jong.
That's true. So let's take a look. Let's have predictions. City, Chelsea. What do you say? What do you call the key points?
Like I said, Pep has not done anything to improve the squad. I actually think he's slightly making Man City worse right before we leave. just about the
That's a big allegation. That's a big. But you have to back up that. You have to back up that with something. You can't just say something like that and just leave it like that. Come on, talk.
Let's be honest. Let's say that Pep leaves by what, 2023, as you said?
Yes, that's same left.
All right, which is a year from after this season. That's 1 more season. That's entirely 1 more season. 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
You have no bona fide striker. Majority of players like Sterling and De Bruyne, their contract should be either up or they're at the age where they're probably looking at winning a Champions League. So they're probably going to want to leave Gundogan.
I doubt it. I think De Bruyne and Sterling signed some extensions to 2026.
All right, cool, no problem. Cool, no problem.
Them tie them down, man.
No. Even if you tie those down, that's not even the real point. You have Grealish. Let's say you have Grealish, Sterling, Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri, Cancelo, Ruben, John Stones, Ederson. Me even not gonna throw in the next keeper, the US keeper, Zach Steffen. Yeah. Yeah, Ferran Torres. Who else? Right? All right, let's just use those. Let's just use those guys. And we can still buy players after.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker eventually I got to either leave or not be that big in the squad. Or not be that key integral player in the squad. The manager that comes in, is he going to be able to keep them in title contention for Champions League to keep Sterling and Grealish and De Bruyne happy? Even if you have them under contract, you still don't want an unhappy squad of players who don't want to be there. Majority of these guys, the only thing they've never won at this point for City's Champions League.
Yeah.
Event much like losing a good manager like Pep or a great manager like Pep, you don't really realize how fucked up losing a manager like Pep. And Liverpool fans should be very careful of what I'm saying because Klopp is included. And I think Mourinho kind of fucked up the manager. And that's we'll get to that.
Yeah.
People saw Mourinho get fired so many times that you think that a world-class manager is easy to replace. Because a manager of Mourinho's stature doesn't get fired as often.
No, they don't actually. Mourinho is probably an exception to the rule.
Exactly. And that's partially because of his personality. I think a lot of it comes down to his personality.
No, it is his personality.
Like a part of people when Mourinho gets hired is like, okay, prove to me that you're still the fucking special one, since you're so special. Some people I think like the fact that it gets fired. Just to kind of keep the special one in my bar, just to say you're just like him in the manager. But outside any manager, look at every manager that has won multiple champions and see how many times they've been fired since winning those champions.
I don't think you've ever seen Carlo? Yes, Carlo got fired from Bayern.
Exactly. Chose to leave PSG on his own accord. Got fired.
Oh, he got fired
Bayern.
at Chelsea. Oh, but he didn't win the Champions League. He went to Madrid and win the Champions League. No, he got fired at Madrid. But that was a stupid move, anyways.
Exactly. But also
second, so
no. Not only that, but yeah, he got fired from Madrid. But not how. Look at the time in between where he gets fired, and look what he does in between that time. He got fired a year after winning the Champions League, and we saw that was a mistake because Rafa Benitez was carrying the squad way worse than Sefer.
They got fired in mid-season and brought in Zidane.
Exactly. And luckily Zidane was a great manager as well, and a person that loves attacking. I didn't even know that was going to work. Yeah, you didn't even know that was going to work.
Perez had to save his job,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you still didn't know if Zidane was going to live up to.
Yeah, but you know that Zidane commands respect from the players, and
that's what I said. No, that's what I said.
Like,
hold on. That's what I said. That's why I said that he's a great manager. That's why I gave you that part already. But tactical wise, and to get to a Champions League final, we did not know.
No idea what was going to happen.
Exactly. So when it comes down to that aspect, Zidane was still a risk. It wasn't like there was a great world class manager sitting out there at the time. Zidane was still a risk. So Zidane was similar to the Pep situation where he kind of raced to become the new Madrid manager because he did have that spell with the Castilla team.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was still a risk. Same thing with firing Frank Rijkaard, that Champions League winning manager, and bringing in somebody that Cruyff claims is going to be the next one. Or the person turns out to be Pep Guardiola, and he was the one, but it was still a risk. And then to just say, okay, I'm going to come in and get rid of Deco, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, just like that, because even though they've won Champions League under the best in their dressing room, I want my team, and I don't want those guys influencing my players. So let them leave. And they were still world class.
Well, like I said, I guess in Pep's defense, he was recommended by Cruyff. And
no, that's what I said. That's what I said.
No matter how great they are.
Yeah, that's also I understand that.
Until the rise of Messi, Cruyff is revered as a god by both fans and board and everybody.
That's what I said. That's why I said Zidane has that aura as well in terms of, okay, when he walks into Madrid, like, even if he's not proven anything yet in the world, he's still Zidane. Exactly. Guardiola was a player under Cruyff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And was
the key to the dream team success.
Exactly, and was the captain.
Exactly, yeah.
So again, he carries that aura when he steps into Barca, but it's still a risk giving him the job. Now, look what has happened to Barca since Pep has left. Now, granted, the manager that Pep set as the ear. Hold on,
yes, Tito. Yes, Tito sadly passed off.
Yeah, rest in peace to Tito Villanova. He was supposed to be the successor to Guardiola,
and his reign started out very, very good.
Yeah,
you ask yourself what would have happened if he was still here.
Yeah, so we're not gonna try to get into that.
But Enrique took back that mantle.
Hold on. Before getting, Tata came in and made the right tactical choice. But again, I think Tata needed more time.
Tata did what Gus Hiddink did. I think Tata should have always been a temporary appointment. Remember when Gus Hiddink came in, when Jose, and I think it was when Scolari got fired, or we brought in Gus Hiddink to steady the ship.
We brought him in twice.
No, 09. We're talking the first time, 09, 2009.
Is it a Scolari or Avram? One out of the two.
Yeah, one of the two of them got fired, and good steady hands. And then a permanent manager.
Won a FA Cup.
Got to a Champions League semi-final where we get robbed. You know, I understand. But Gus Hiddink came in and he steadied the ships.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I don't think he was the one that should have planned for the future with.
All right, but with Tata, I think Tata needed another year. I thought Tata's firing was another overreaction because it was the first year without a trophy. Because even under Villanova's spell, I don't remember, Jordi, somebody took over for the last couple of months. I was still one La Liga. Mm-hmm. His name is Jordi. I can't remember his last. But he came in after Tito passed away, and he kind of just, he was the interim manager until the summer. And we still won La Liga. Tata coming in, especially under the recommendation of Lionel Messi himself, I think he needed another year because Barca, he made the right tactical change at Barca by making Barca more direct because Barca became very dependent on possession and teams figured that out by him. And even
Tito figured that out from under Pep.
Exactly. And even though Tito made small changes that were still doing well, the main thing wasn't changing. People still had us figured out, even under Tito. It's just that we had enough bodies to fill it. We could take off Xavi and Iniesta and bring on Fabregas and Thiago Alcantara. We could now take off Busquets and bring on Alex Song, who had his best year the year before for Arsenal, which is what attracted Barca. Mm-hmm. So which hampered Arsenal's. How many years now Arsenal has been looking for a defensive midfielder since Alexander departed? Years. Same thing with the manager thing. I think Jose has gotten so fired so quickly back to back in terms of
Mhm.
Man U and Tottenham that people think that like managers at that level are easy to replace when they're
Not
fucking
easy to
not.
then just pluck them out of thin air.
Yeah, like
And
they're
since they
fucking not.
fired Jose, Man U has still yet even gone to a final. Well, they've gone to a final last season, but they haven't won a trophy. Jose's 3 trophies in his first season is still, and up until Solskjaer finishing second last season, where in all honesty is more Leicester battling second place than them
Yeah, like when
winning
Arsenal they finished
second
second,
place.
like when Tottenham couldn't keep up with Leicester and Arsenal.
Exactly.
Arsenal still
Arsenal
end up
just
finish second on points.
Yeah, but you were never in the race for the
Yeah, you
title
never
in
in
the
the race
first
with title.
place.
You finished in second. That gave Arsene Wenger one more year.
Yeah, true. Can finish second. Yeah, they couldn't. Yeah, made Arsenal fans then feel like, yo, we should be winning the title, and
Yeah,
we were close to winning the title. I'm like, yeah.
And if Chelsea never what, draw or beat Tottenham, like you wouldn't
Yeah, all we
finish
had to
second.
do was draw. All we had to do was draw with Tottenham to give Leicester the title, because mathematically it would have been impossible.
Yeah, but you also gave Arsenal second with that draw because then Spurs dropped the points.
Yeah. We gave them second place too.
Exactly. So like Chelsea just have two clubs where one are fighting for the title and one are rivals. Just from drawing or beating Tottenham. So at the end of the day, like these managers aren't easy to replace.
No, they're not, because world-class managers, they don't just pop up out of thin air. I think it was the same thing with Chelsea and Tuchel. Tuchel was available. The club cut the ties with Lampard and went after Tuchel.
Exactly.
Because world-class managers are not readily available. Them don't just.
And PSG have been spoiled, and this is when you realize a spoiled brat is like giving away its toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I say a spoiled kid gives away, like, will not appreciate the toys that's been given.
Yes.
I do think Pochettino is a good manager, but you gave him a fucked up situation. No, you can't say, well, Mario, we've given him the best talents in Europe. But this goes back to what I was. Just give me a second. Let me finish
talents don't win your Champions League.
Exactly, but just let me finish my point first. This is what goes back to Coleman, the whole Coleman thing. And this is what PSG will still not understand. You can't throw together talent and it just works. The squad has to be built properly. That's why PSG are struggling despite having a world-class front four. Because on paper, yes, this front four is supposed to work perfectly. Messi wants to play as a number 10. Neymar can play on the left wing. Mbappe can play through the middle. Di Maria is where he is on the right wing. It's supposed to make sense, but why isn't it making sense right now? It's because, again, all of these players are different. Mbappe's his trajectory is going in a different direction. He's young and up and coming. Di Maria is set in his ways. He's the right winger. Neymar has to now transition back to playing as a left winger when he's been playing as a 10 for the past 2 years. And again, Messi needs players around him who are constantly
runners. Runners. He needs runners. Which is why he would have fit City perfectly.
Exactly.
Because you're giving him runners, but like you said, so I understand. So City, and then the whole controversy with City and Pep wanting the fans coming out and all of that. I think what we are coming into is that City fans are going to understand that when Pep leaves, who are you going to replace him with? Because which other world-class manager is out there? The new generation of managers, the Tuchel, the Nagelsmann, Bayern already has Nagelsmann locked up.
Oh, and he hasn't proven
maybe you can collect Eric Ten Hag from Ajax.
But again, Ten Hag hasn't proven a Champions League yet.
Nothing. Nagelsmann hasn't proven anything.
Anything yet. Flick took the job at for Germany, so him kind of locked in for a good maybe 4 years.
Another two international tournaments minimum.
Yeah, minimum, and that's again 4 years.
So looking at World Cup and the next Euros coming up. So
yeah, that's a 4 year span. That's a 4 year span. By look after that 3 to 4 year span. So again, all of the managers who are proven have like arguably the best jobs. Ancelotti is back at Madrid. Pochettino,
Mhm.
I think, is a world-class manager. I think that his team didn't show up for him in the Champions League final, and he also made a mistake in starting Kane. So I still have to give him credit for that. I still have to give him like the hits but I do think he's one of these young coaches that fit into the Nagelsmann club. Sorry, the Nagelsmann Tuchel era. I just think he's. Somebody said it about a coach the other day. Sometimes you can get your dream job, but the dream job is in a fucked up state right now, like a fucked up situation.
Well, Lampard got his dream job. He just wasn't ready for it.
And in all fairness, the team wasn't ready either. Because
I'm talking
again,
about,
Chelsea,
the team was ready either, yeah.
the team needed transitioning as well.
And he did transition the team. I think if it's one thing you can say, he did that.
Yeah, but that's what was
He
that's
brought
what
in the players that needed to transition the team into the next generation, the next
which is
step.
which is why what did I ask you at the beginning? Are you going to give not only this team, but are you also going to give the manager time to grow himself? That's the first question I asked when the Lampard hiring. I mean, it's not that if Lampard was going to be successful or if what he's doing is wrong in transitioning the team to young and even academy players. My question was, are Chelsea going to be patient not only with this team's transition, but also are you going to allow your manager to make mistakes and grow as well as a manager? There's only so many trophy-laden years before you start a more development curve.
Which is why I believe why Arsenal is going to stick with Arteta, because who are going to replace him with?
Exactly.
Big Sam? No, they could replace me. Big Sam for true.
No, the Chelsea fan are show player right now. Like, yeah, show you do right. You really want to see Arsenal with Dixon?
Oh, that would be something to see.
I would start watching Arsenal from TV every week. Every week. Every week for that. No, that would be fun.
Oh, that would be comedy gold. But oh my God, we're all over the place tonight. I said Chelsea win 1-0.
Yeah. You've been correct so far, so I'm gonna go with your prediction from Kirk. You've been correct with the Champions League final, some other predictions so far. Let's keep this hot streak going. We'll start the betting show. Villa and Manu. Villa and Manu.
Villa and Manu. Okay, so Villa and Manu low-key has all the makings to be a really, really good match.
In terms of entertainment value.
And then it can be a match that just snooze right through. But you see, in terms of pure entertainment, Villa, as they showed against Chelsea twice, they have the tools to put you to the sword, and they will press the hell out of you.
They always have.
And you know, Dean Smith, and I give Dean Smith so much credit for this. Dean Smith has made Aston Villa fold that you just did not want to play them. Yeah, you don't want to go to Villa Park. You do not want to see Villa show up. You just don't want to play them because they're annoying.
Yeah, so when
Villa, Stoke City, they were annoying. You pray for the day they get relegated.
Hold on. Which Villa are you talking about?
It's a relegation Villa era.
That's not a relegation team. That's a Europa League.
No. I'm saying Villa. No, I'm saying that you pray for the day when they get relegated because they were so annoying.
Oh, because Shea Stoke City.
No. I'm just saying in terms of the teams that you just don't want to play against.
Yeah.
Stoke City, West Brom, Villa, Sunderland. These were teams that was just, oh my God. Even Newcastle back in the day when they had Pape Cisse and Dembaba leading the attack line, you did not want to go to St. James Park. Because when you go to those places, it's hostile territory. It's like if the players are not up for a fight, you're leaving that stadium with 0 points. You're not getting anything out of that.
All right, let's start Liverpool.
Leicester, Liverpool.
Sorry. Leicester
Leicester.
and Burnley. Leicester.
Oh, Leicester, Burnley.
Yeah.
All right, Leicester will take out Burnley.
Norwich, Everton.
This Everton team is in some hot form.
Yeah,
So
but they have a
I
lot
put
of
edge to
injuries now.
Everton.
Them get some injuries. Them have a
Okay.
couple injuries.
But this Norwich team has done what they did again. Them improve them defense. I still think Everton has enough tools to dispatch them.
All right.
At minimum, they probably get a draw with it. The North London derby, may say. Spurs lose 3 in a row.
No. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I will Arsenal win 3 in a row.
I don't.
It's Spurs. I think Spurs are winning this one.
I don't know about Spurs this season.
I think Spurs are winning this one. I think Kane and Son will put Arsenal to the sword. Arsenal defense cannot stop Kane or Son.
All right.
Liverpool to make
Brentford.
tactical tweaks to stop them.
Liverpool
Brentford. I like Brentford, I like Brentford. But I think Liverpool is in that place right now. They're in the zone right now. I think this Liverpool team is going to take some stopping. And
Southampton Wolves. I'm gonna just get these.
Okay, Southampton Wolves. This is actually a very interesting match. Southampton has yet to win. Wolves has lost 4 matches. Both of them sit literally beside each other in the table. But if there's anybody looking for a mid-table clash, stay away from Southampton and Wolves. This is probably going to be a draw.
All right, Watford, Newcastle. Don't draw this up, please.
Watford, Newcastle.
1-1 draw. 1-1 draw.
Yeah. No. I think Watford will win this one.
All right. Now the only exciting match at mid-table you need to watch is Leeds and West Ham.
Yes, this is probably going to be a firecracker.
Yeah, I see 3-3.
No, I see West Ham winning 3-3.
All right, can work with that.
Like I said, West Ham like Liverpool. Like when West Ham gets going, they're very hard to stop. And I haven't seen anything from Leeds this season to show me that they can, our Bielsa can adapt, because teams look to have figured him out and they're just not in a good place right now.
I don't think teams have figured him out. I don't think teams have figured out Bielsa because he's still attacking at a very good. His attack is still doing what it's supposed to be. Until he buys some defenders, the team will not go forward. Like, his attack perfect. He has depth in attack. He doesn't need to buy any attacking players. Until they buy some defenders. He's still working with the championship defenders that he has. Ayling and Liam Cooper are good players.
But they are not Premier League standard defenders.
Exactly. They're good to fill in for the day.
The difference between Leeds and Norwich is that Leeds attack is scoring goals, so they're drawing matches.
Exactly.
Norwich attack isn't scoring, so they're losing matches.
Exactly. You bought one good defender in your end, but he needs to. You need a centre back partner with him or a back three. But I don't think it's that Bielsa is figured out. I just think he hasn't made and buy a goddamn goalkeeper. Like, yes, your goalkeeper is okay, but that's not going to cut it in the Premier League if you want to move forward. Buy a fucking goalkeeper. You want a cheap option? Buy Paulo Gazzaniga from Tottenham. He fits Bielsa's playing style in terms of a keeper that can play with the ball at his feet, and he's a great shot stopper as well. And you need to fix the defense. Like, okay, you buy Juna Firpo, who's a good left back, but you don't have a good right back. You don't have another good centre back. You only have 2 good defenders. And sometimes you switch to a back three. So how that will work?
That's how that go work.
You need a goalkeeper and 2 defenders. And until he fixes that, and again, I think he needs 1 and 2 midfielders as well, in terms of giving Calvin Phillips rest. And to give him more dynamic midfield options. When he was at Bilbao,
Yeah.
Ander Herrera was a deep line playmaker. Javi Martinez was a defensive midfielder who plays as a centre back at times. And he had other box to box midfielders and stuff who were he had dynamic midfield choices. The reason why his attack is going so well is because he has dynamic choices. Ian Poveda, Douglas Costa, Rafinha Still, Bamford, James, Jack Harrison, Tyler Roberts. He has dynamic choices up front. But yeah, fix the goalkeeper. You can't depend. Stuart Dallas should be coming on for the bench. Ailing should be coming on for the bench. Liam Cooper. Like those guys, if you're building a championship team in terms of the English championship, but if you're building a Premier League like team to go forward, those guys should be coming off the bench. Because again, I don't think that they're bad players in the Premier League either. I just don't think they're at the level where you need to move forward as a squad. But yeah, 3-2 or 3-3, and I see this match. Now, Leon, I want to come to something very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The top 3 teams in La Liga are doing a bad job of representing La Liga. And here's why that is fucked up. What if I told you that every other team in La Liga is more attractive to watch than the top 3?
I'm not surprised. All 3 teams are going through a transition. Atletico was never that exciting to watch right now. I think Carlo
and they're the informed team. And they're the informed team.
Exactly. I think Carlo is trying to figure out how to get this Madrid team to play. Barca, the less said about them, the better. It's just sad.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The other La Liga teams are playing very good football.
Yes, they are. Which is why I think Sevilla is going to trash Barca.
What have you advantage?
What
have you advantage?
You sure? Isn't Sevilla versus Barca next?
Sunday 9-8. That match you get postponed.
Oh yes.
From like 2 weeks up. From like 2 weeks up.
So yeah, I'm reading it wrong. It looked like he said. So why does they have Sevilla faces Barca next? Are these people mad?
No, RCD Espanyol of Barcelona.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's weird because
no. Espanyol's name is Barcelona. Like they're playing technically they're playing Barcelona. So I don't know if like where you're looking at it as RCD Espanyol of Barcelona. I don't know if that's
no, but I'm looking at Footy Room. It says I think I can't. Am I reading this wrong? I think yes, I can't read actually.
That's why I said if it still says Barcelona, it's not technically wrong because the full name of Espanyol is RCD Espanyol of Barcelona. So it could be that
they're playing Espanyol. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And the full name of the club is RCD Espanyol of Barcelona. So Barca, the actual FC Barcelona are playing Levante, third best team in Valencia, in the city of Valencia, or region of Valencia. So let's see if we can get some form, but we can barely beat Cadiz, and now Cadiz has been playing well. I expect them to beat Rayo Vallecano. Sociedad look damn. I'm talking quality of play. I'm not even talking about are they playing workouts. If you talk about quality football, it's surprising that the top 3 is not to watch. If you want to be entertained by a La Liga match this weekend, watch Villarreal and Madrid. And granted, Villarreal will play more exciting than Madrid. Even though Vinicius look good right now. Or watch Athletic Club and Valencia. That's going to be an entertaining match. If you want to watch an entertaining match, Sevilla Espanyol will be entertaining as well. Sevilla is going to win, but it'll be high score. Now, Athletic Club and Valencia match is similar to the Villa match and the Man U match in that this can either go 2 ways. A complete snooze fest based on how Bilbao like to do for them team, or this can be a rout based on how Valencia like to do for them team. And Valencia has been good this season. I don't know what rating is Carlos Soler in FIFA.
Repeat that.
Carlos Soler. How much you rate?
I have no idea. I haven't checked the.
I just saw, but that's not important. That's important.
Yeah.
But yeah, so say that if you want to watch entertaining football, Granada and Celta Vigo Monday evening. Getafe and Betis is another one of those matches where if Betis get them way, it's a high scoring match. If Getafe get them way, nobody watch them. That'll be All right, so that's it for La Liga. Let's go over to Serie A real quick because there's some good matches. Spezia Milan will be
Yes.
entertaining. It will be
Spezia Milan, you think so?
listen. Spezia is one of those relegation teams who the
I
one
think
thing they will
Atalanta, I think we name the we just say that now, like
AC Milan different.
they're playing, yeah, no, they're playing AC. I'm just saying that. You really feel that it'll be really exciting?
Yes, because again, let me tell you what Spezia as a club is. Spezia may not be one of the best teams in Italy, but the one thing they do is play attractive football, and the one thing they do is score goals.
I think Inter versus Atalanta would be the match to watch.
No, I'm not saying this is the match to watch. Just one more work my way into that. When we get the other match, the out of the way before we get into one more talk. That's what I'm saying. Spezia and Milan. Let's start with it. Spezia and Milan. Yeah, it will be an entertaining match. But like Milan obviously is 32, but Spezia will give you entertaining football, and they go down sweet, so it'll probably be a high scoring match. And don't be surprised if they meet Milan. Hellas Verona and Genoa, another entertaining match, high scoring. Both of these teams use a back three, but they're both attacking Italian. So it's a mid-table clash, but it will be entertaining. It's not a boring mid-table clash. So we'll get to those. Udinese and Fiorentina. Udinese have been playing okay. Like they've not been losing to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. So again, another mid-table clash, but Fiorentina has been hot. Nico Gonzalez from our Argentine national team, he's been great for them. Buenaventura has been good for them as well. But again, high scoring match that will be entertaining mid-table clash. Salernitana, if you're a Frank Ribery fan, that's the only reason why you watch this match. Sassuolo is expected to beat them. Listen, if you're a Frank Ribery fan and you still want to see him play, plays for Salernitana, newly promoted club. Sorry to the fans of that club for butchering the name. They're playing Sassuolo. I expect Sassuolo to beat them. If Roma need one goal for beat Sassuolo, again, Sassuolo is a team who they finish mid-table and just annoy the clubs. And Empoli Bologna.
Ain't that the truth?
Don't wake up for that match.
I said don't wake up.
No, man, Sunday. That's Sunday, 8 a.m. sleeping. Napoli and Cagliari will be entertaining in the evening because it's going to be a high-scoring match. Cagliari is one of those teams who like to score goals but still concede a lot. So they're one of those bottom of the table teams who can't really defend, and they're making Diego Godin look a lot worse than his reputation is because of who they put around him. And then their good defenders can't stay off red cards. Zappa got a red card sometime last week, so he's going to be out. But yeah, high scoring match. Napoli expected to win. This is like the Spezia Milan. It's going to be entertaining, but you know who the winner is. And let's get to the
Roma.
Yeah, well, before that, let's get to the three matches of the week. Let's get one more match. Venezia Torino. Torino has turned over their team and they've even dropped Bellotti from the squad. I don't know that we were. But they're starting a new generation of players. They've been entertaining so far. And Venezia is a team that I respect because they buy a lot of CONCACAF players. They have a Canadian youngster and 2 US players. They're a good young team, but you can see that they're young. Like they're a newly promoted team, but they have a bunch of young guys. So, and they don't have enough like experience. They're literally a young squad. They have a Belgium youngster. They have this target man who thinks he's Thierry Henry because his name is Henry and we're the number 14. And for some reason, he tried to play like Henry, even though he's a target. But yeah, Venezia is a good young squad, so they can play entertaining. Again, I don't know why Torino dropped Bellotti, or if he's injured, but he hasn't been playing for. All right, now that we got those matches out of the way, the 3 matches of the weekend for Serie. Let's start with Juventus Sampdoria, 5:13 in the morning. You get up for that?
No.
I'll be up by then, so I guess I'm going to.
I'm already waking up early Saturday morning to watch Chelsea play City.
All right,
I'm not doing that on Sunday. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'll be up by then. So, Sampdoria have them in the Sampdoria pool, but they're going to score goals, and we need to
And
see
Juventus has been the Juventus of all either. So
yeah, so this is a deciding match for both teams. Sampdoria need the confidence to remember that they were once a club that was in the Europa League, and they should still be playing like that. But they still have talent there. Damsgaard, who light up the Euros, is there. Still have Gambiadini, Quagliarella for some reason at 38 years old is still one of the highest scoring forwards in Italy. And it will be an entertaining game if Juve doesn't make it a sleeping fest. If both teams don't make it a sleeping fest, this is another one of those games that can go either.
Is either people stay in their bed. It's too much of a risk.
Yeah, too much of a risk. Too much of a risk. Watch highlights. Watch highlights. When you wake up, watch highlights. All right, the two big matches of the weekend. Which one you want to start?
Lazio Roma. I feel like Roma can do it. I told you that I'm feeling something nice on this Jose Roma team. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm feeling something nice.
Because you're a Jose Mourinho fan and you're a Tammy Abraham. That's all. That's literally why you're feeling something. You're performing well right now.
Don't know what you're trying to say,
We saw their mental breakdown against AS Roma. Like I said, I'm still very calm. I'm still very calm about this Roma squad. I'm not jumping to any conclusions. Can they beat Lazio? We always could. There's never a match where we've had a team where we couldn't beat Lazio. No, as Lazio performed better than us in the past 2 seasons, sure, I'll give them that. There's never been a time where we never had a squad equal to Lazio, or even we're not in the same form as them. There's never been a squad that we've had that cannot beat them.
So similar to the Chelsea and Tottenham team.
Yeah, in all fairness. Granted, Lazio are better rivals than Tottenham because they actually won Serie A.
Yes, they actually win something.
Oh no, like back in the early 2000s, Lazio was a title contender. Like every year, title contender. When they had Claudio Lopez, even I don't even have to go back that far, but that was just the early 2000s. Lazio has fallen from grace because again, both Rome clubs used to be on the same level as the two Milan clubs. That was the top four of Serie A. Are you from Rome or are you from Milan? And then look at either of them from Turin. Push up the Mykonos.
Why so look at either of them from Turin?
Push up the Mykonos in a big people business. But yeah, that's what's it, Atalanta and Inter?
Yes. This I see goals.
Yeah, because Simeone, despite using contest formations and attack-minded manager, and we've seen the clashes with when Simeone was at Lazio. We saw the Atalanta clashes. It was red cards and 5-4s and 3-4s, and that's the scoreline. And there were some red cards, and we have guys like Arturo Vidal in this game. We have guys who are even Barella and the other game. This is a feist. It's going to be a match where like cards are shown. So what are your predictions?
3-2 Inter. I just think Inter has no firepower.
And the Rome derby?
The Rome derby. I know I'm going with Roma 2-0. I see Tammy scoring again. I see El Shaarawy probably getting on the score sheet again.
Give me a 2-2 draw for the Roma derby because the Roma derby always has goals. So I see it as a high scoring affair. And then Sarri is in charge of Lazio, so I see them leaking goals and trying to outscore more. So
I wonder Sarri will get this Lazio team playing like it's Napoli team.
He doesn't have the midfield yet figured out, in all fairness. Because the only natural like register type player is Cataldi. Lucas Leiva is really a defensive midfielder now. So and then Akpa Akpro is a box-to-box midfielder, creative box-to-box midfielder. So I think they're all just adjusting to the playing style. All right, so league on.
There's not much interesting matches in League on this weekend.
No, but there was one and two. So, all right, Bordeaux and Redden. Don't wake up so early in the morning to watch that. Sanity and Nice will be entertaining. Or not the best match of the weekend, but it will be entertaining. Don't watch Leon and Lorient match. Guys, Lille won the league last season. I would not recommend you watch a match for them. I recommend you watch the highlights. One of the problems with teams like Atletico Madrid and Lille, when they're not winning, they're very hard to watch. But they don't play attractive playing style in the first place. This Lille team is a counter-attacking team, and when they counter-attack, they look attractive, but they still play a pragmatic style of play. Mm-hmm. And they've been bad so far this year. I don't know if their manager had higher too much high expectations for himself from winning League On, but I don't know why you abandon. I don't know why you be part of the team when you don't have like a surefire job coming up. Or who knows? Maybe that little manager who decided to leave, maybe he gets the Arsenal job next.
Probably is. Like I said, Lille is just weird, you know. Like the decisions that they made this season, it's just I don't understand it, and I really wish they would have at least kept the squad and kept the manager to at least make the title, at least have a little title.
No, but the manager wasn't fired.
He left. I know, which I don't understand.
Yeah, so Lille can't control that, and they haven't lost all the players. They actually only lost one.
See, they kept the players, but all they do is keep the manager.
What you want them to do? The manager, like the manager choose to leave, and like see them fire him or never want to offer him a contract or something. PSG should beat Montpellier. Let's see they figure out if Messi and those guys figure out how to play. But Montpellier is a team that will fight. In all fairness, they're one of the teams in the another fight. The match of the weekend is Lens versus Marseille. Sampaoli's Marseille has been good so far, but I haven't been convinced by them to figure what I'm saying.
Boy, it's like I said, you know, Liga doesn't look that appetizing this weekend.
In all fairness, like I said, there's some entertaining matches, you know. Leon and Lorient will be entertaining, but you know the outcome. Nice and Sanity will be entertaining, but you know the outcome. Nice is going to win. Granted, Sanity can give them actual game, but I think Sanity is going to have a huge transition. Them now have nobody upon them score over the either. Claude Puel drop everybody over the either. Legit. Like Claude Puel drop everybody. If you're what, like must be like 23, you drop everybody from the squad. I think only one because you're so bad. And not because he's my best player. So yeah,
right.
Monaco, this one, Monaco play Clermont. That, but like I said, entertaining match, but you actually don't know how this is going to end because I don't know what if former manager Kovac, I don't know what is going on at Monaco.
My manager, I don't remember that.
Okay, all right, cool. So just give me the prediction for Marseille and give me a prediction for Marseille. Because I don't want to really entertain you like match way.
I think Marseille will win. Probably at 2-0.
Really, with a constant formation switching or Sampaoli feel like him for.
Yes, which is why he's going to win.
No, legit, like Payet has a false 9, 4 players in behind that, then 2 players in behind that, then a back 3. Then you switch to a 3-4-3. Then you switch to a 3-3-1-3. Then you switch to a 4-3-3. Then you switch to a 4-2-3-1. Pick something and stick with it. This is not FM.
Granted, in FM, if you don't pick something and stick with it, you're not really getting the best options out of it. That's the thing, you know that.
Bielsa look like he might play some form of video game because it's like, okay, well, let's see if we can do this week. Let's see if this a go. And then him don't lose the match, and then him all right. But he's been way too experimental in this Marseille squad.
If it works, it works, right?
Hey, granted, he's been having fun with him squad, and him players seem to like it because the attacking style. But I don't. You see, the thing is, this is why I say I'm not convinced by Marseille. I don't think they're going to win, but I think it's going to be one because Marseille create chances, but they don't like to score for some god almighty reason. They probably have the most missed chances in Europe by now. Out of like the top 4 teams at the top level of them league, Marseille probably have the most wasted chances. They create, but they score very little. Lens has actually been a good team for the past year or two. You think Gael Kakuta, the former Chelsea player, can save it for Lens?
No.
I don't think
Not saving, not saving anything.
I don't think our favorite undersized goalkeeper, Willy Cafarinias, is not going to help them. He's not going to. All right. He's been playing well, by the way. He's been playing well. Venezuela are part of Venezuela. That's where I'm coming from. You don't want to go for the Eredivisie?
No.
I think it's still. Wait, one. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Bundesliga. My apologies.
The only 2 matches worth watching this weekend is Gladbach, Dortmund, Leverkusen, Mainz.
All right. So what are your predictions from both?
Dortmund will win. I don't know the score, but Dortmund will win.
It will start out 2-0 Gladbach and end 4-2. Don't even watch the match. I don't tell you the score. It'll start out 2-0 Gladbach. It'll end 4-2.
Allow me to.
Yeah, exactly. Haaland with 2 and 2 other people will pop up somewhere. Brandt might drop in somewhere. Torgan might drop in somewhere. But it'll start out looking damn good for Gladbach. Score 2 goals and Rice fit.
Yeah, I think he's fit.
Rice not miss against that. Rice does not miss against that. So, Mark, if you're a betting person, bet on Rice to score, bet on Haaland to score anytime. And it'll end 4. It'll end 4-2. But guess what? Gladbach are gonna start out looking like a them. If you still want to see Ian Robin play, Groningen is playing Ajax this weekend. So if you're an Ian Robin fan and you want to watch like a Dutch league match and still wants the Boston team, he's going to have to carry Groningen versus Ajax. But that's the only real match PSV Eindhoven is playing. You ever heard of a B team? You ever heard of a B team being better than the actual club?
No, I never heard of that before.
William 2 is the B team of William, and William is not in the top division. William got relegated from the Dutch league, but their B team, who was playing in the Dutch second division, are in the league now. Now, granted, they can't have a B team and an A team in the same league, which is why Barca B never got promoted out when Pep was at Barca. Because they won the league, they won the second division, they won La Liga's second division, but they couldn't get promoted because Barcelona is their parent club. But this one is strange. Alkmaar they beat the go-ahead Eagles. Feyenoord they make easy work of NEC. So yeah, that's the Dutch league. I'm just going to throw in a couple of things. The Orlando Pirates are going to the Mamelodi Sundowns. All right, so the top of the table clash in South African League, Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates. The 2 teams who are supposed to be facing off for the title will play the first time this season. Let's see if the Orlando Pirates can not mentally break down. I know that Leon is probably sleeping in the stream right now, but just run up some Liga MX. A big derby is going to be played, Pumas versus Tigres. Club America versus Guadalajara, Monterrey versus Santos Laguna. So if you're in Mexico and you're hearing this, at least one person on this podcast watches Mexican football. Leon is still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, think you drop asleep by this. The New York Derby the New York Derby is being played this weekend in the MLS. When? Tomorrow, yeah. And the only other big match in the MLS this weekend would be San Jose Earthquakes and LAFC. It's not really a big match. LAFC should win that. Atlanta United and Philadelphia Union. Atlanta United should win that.
Repeat that, Mario.
The Philadelphia Union versus Atlanta United in the MLS.
Oh, I don't watch MLS.
Yeah, I just rounded off some Liga MX MLS. We're done for the night, you know, like we're not really.
So this is where you wrap it up.
Hold on, maturing some stuff. My two favorite Japanese teams will be playing at Sunday at 1 a.m. So if anybody wants to wake up with me and watch that match, Cerezo Osaka versus the Kashima Antlers. If you don't know who Cerezo Osaka is, they're the club that birthed Shinji Kagawa. Just for like recognition. And if you don't know who the Kashima Antlers were, they're the club that Brazilian Zico used to play for and then coached. And they're my two favorite Japanese teams, and they're the clashing this week. And my two favorite Korean teams, the Suwon Blue Wings and FC Seoul, will be playing against each other. Yeah, I'm probably like shaking it right. But yeah, that's it.
All right then.
You want to wait like the two match you want to play like 1 a.m. Where the 1 a.m.
No, sorry, no.
That's supposed to be right after the UFC big fights this weekend. That's supposed to end like 12 midnight our time. So like stay up for another hour, another two, 3 hours. All right, let's wrap up this podcast.